What's up, guys? Welcome to the Crypto Savvy channel. I'm Craig, and we're going to be taking a look at Bitcoin. Also, take a quick look at the Dow Jones, DXY, Ethereum, Litecoin, XRP, and yeah, should be a decent video. We'll see what's kind of going on here. What I'm looking at as possibilities, we talked about this yesterday. This is that Amazon to Bitcoin comparison chart. If we were to come back up and retest this orange trend line, and that 55 EMA, along with all the other EMAs, should be coming down in that area also. It would be around the 42.9 to 43,000 range. If we get above that, then we'll start considering that maybe it could continue up, which I highly doubt, but that's my opinion. Doesn't have to be yours. But anyway, we'll be keeping a close eye on this. As you can see right here, people are talking about this bullish divergence here, hidden bullish divergence. As you remember, there's huge bearish divergence here, but people are talking about this bullish divergence down here. And if you look back on the Amazon, I was looking at it earlier, we also had the same thing with bullish divergence, right here, from that bottom to that bottom. Here, let's stretch it out a little bit, you can see it. You had a lower low right here, and right here was actually higher. Well, we had a lower low in the RSI, higher low in the, there's so many similarities with this, guys. I know a lot of people do not believe it's possible. And I'm not saying it's a guaranteed thing, but I'm saying that there is a lot of confluence here. Even in the MACD, if we look at where we're at right now, we had the two big. The MACD was also showing the divergence down here, just like here. There's just so many similarities, guys. And if this was to happen, it could get very bad. I know people were talking about 9,000, but I talked about it yesterday. If it actually went the same distance here, would be about into the middle or end of 2023. Somebody had mentioned to me that Bitcoin is, and crypto is open 24 hours. The stock market isn't. That is possible that it could shorten it a little bit. I still think it'd be at least a year, but I'm still looking at if this plays out to middle to end of September, or I'm sorry, 2023. And if it played out like this chart did, according to size and percentage, would be well under $5,000. So just be aware of that it is a possibility. Again, guys, not saying it's going to happen for sure, but I do think we are going to go lower than we are right now, or than we have right now. And if you look at the weekly here, we've talked about this quite a bit. Where we got rejected right here, we were expecting that. This would be where I would look for heavy resistance around that 43.9, 44,000, looking at it on the weekly. If we get back above that and get support there, then I'd be looking for somewhere around that 51.6 range for our next resistance. We'll talk about that if we get there, but I think we're still headed back down towards these lows here. Could take weeks, could take months, who knows? We'll talk about it a little bit different right here. As you guys know, we've had this rising broadening wedge drawn in here. We knew if we broke this, it was bad news for Bitcoin, and well, it was bad news for Bitcoin. The measured move of that is down to around the 23,000 range, 24,000. I also have another target I'm going to show you today in the 4 hour that could get us down there. And again, it doesn't mean we drop in one straight drop. I'm showing you in the bigger time frames. So I still have this target down here. I think it's still a good possibility, unless we get up all these EMAs and start turning them up if we do get above them. But as of now, it's still looking like this could definitely be our next major target. Now, this is what I posted on the thumbnail. Look at this as a falling wedge. We've had two touches on the top, two touches on the bottom, and we broke here. Now, technically, it should have an ABCDE according to Elliott Wave. Let's take a look at that real quick. This would be A. Actually, this would be A, B, C, D. E does not have to touch. But I do want to point out that it could be something like this. So if this wasn't to play out, if we're to get back above this 38.4, 38.5 range and get support there, I would start looking for us to come up back to test the top of this wedge here. And that could be something like this. It may be even make a channel down where it gets us back down to this range. But like I said, right now, what I'm looking for divergence in the 4 hour is right around this trend line here. And that's the trend line I made off of these 2 wicks. I talked about it yesterday. Would line up with the 55 EMA too if it gets up here in the next couple days. I do expect resistance there at the 38.5 to 38.6 range, somewhere in there. I also tweeted that this morning. If you guys don't follow me on Twitter, make sure you give me a follow. It's at CryptoSavvy1. Also, don't forget to smash those likes, guys. It really helps the channel out. It helps get the YouTube algorithm going. Also, just real quick in the chat, type 1 if you're bullish, type 2 if you're bearish. In the longer term, 1 if you think we're in a bear market, 2 if you think we're in a bull market. I am curious to see what you guys think. So, yeah, people are talking about the Fed meeting. Maybe if it's some good news that makes the market all hyper, then we get back up into this range. Otherwise, central banking system manipulation, crypto was created for a reason. Yeah, but I think they got control of that too already, guys. That's my opinion. Doesn't have to be yours. But anyway, looking for a rejection up in this area. Also, you can see how the 4-hour RSI has moved a whole lot further than the price has right here. And if we look at this top, even if we do get up to that 38.4, 38.6 range, most likely it's going to make some hidden bearish divergence, which is a continuation of the trend. So that's something to keep an eye on, guys. If you do see it close, even a close up here below this 43,000 would definitely is going to make some. But I'd be watching for a 4-hour close with a higher high in the RSI right here, in a close. So the 4-hour has to close. And then when you're looking for divergence, you don't use the wicks. You use the bodies of the candle. RSI follows the body, not the wick. Remember that. So that's what I'm looking for. We'll see what happens. If we do get back above this, then I'd be looking for a retest of this top trend line, depending on how long it took to get up there. If it was a quick rally, it could be up in the 43,000 range. If we look back at the Amazon chart real quick, what was that? Around the 43,000. So keep an eye in that area if it does get bullish. But again, guys, I think we're going to see these lower levels still. I'll let you know if I change my mind on that. And let's look at the 1 hour. So I had some things I wanted to point out on the 1 hour, kind of just give you guys an idea of how divergence works. As you can see on the bodies here, this is the 1 hour chart. We made a higher high in the price action, a lower high in the RSI. That is bearish divergence we got there, and it came down. Could that be played out? It is a possibility. As you can see, we made lower lows in the RSI here, higher lows in the price action. That was hidden bullish divergence. So we'll have to keep looking for divergence in the hourly and then back into the 4 hour to kind of get an idea of where this rejection may come. We look at this 200 EMA on the hourly at right around 38,000. So, but if you look here in the longer 2 peaks here, then we do not have the divergence from this dip to this dip. So it's down. Let's look at a spot here. I'm gonna tell you where, if this passes through this bottom trend line, then we are most likely headed to the downside. And that's going to be around, depending on how long, if it's in the next few hours, around 36.4 range. If we break below that, chances are we're going down to at least back down to test these lows. So that is what I am looking at. Could this be an ABC correction here of this wave? Oh, yeah, one more thing I wanted to point out on this 4 hour. If we go from this high here, we put the fibs on that. If we put the fibs on that, that would actually, I would move this, whoops. I would move this target over, damn it. I would move this target over here, match up with the fib, and that would be a few days, almost a week before it would get up there, and that would be the 0.5 fib. If if it breaks up above this 38.4 range. So keep a close eye on that. Let's see, if you guys are interested, definitely check out Prime XBT, my favorite exchange. Link down below. You can use my promo codes Savvy25 and get you 25% off your fees. Cool thing about it is you can trade crypto, forex, gold, silver, oil, S&P, Dow Jones, everything from one exchange. Definitely check them out. You can have multiple trades in, longs and shorts. They don't clump them together like the scam exchanges. Also, there is a tutorial down here. I also have some like an EMA tutorial, looking for patterns tutorial, things like that. They're older videos, but they still have some good stuff on them. And there's a Prime XBT video here that shows you where to put your promo code. Savvy50 will get you up to a $7,000 bonus. Savvy25 will get you 25% off your fees. Check out my wife's webpage, inkyourimage.com. There's a crypto section. Awesome stuff in here, guys. Definitely check it out. And looking at the Dow, we got back above the trend line again today. Tomorrow is going to be a very important day, but one of the things I want to point out here, let's zoom in over here. Actually, let's look at it on the daily. What I wanted to show you guys on the daily. If you look at the daily here, on the RSI, we made a higher high on the RSI, lower high on the price action. Also, so we have some, sticking that up so you can see it. So we have some hidden bearish divergence there, right here on these two little peaks. Right there. Lower high in the price, higher high in the RSI on the daily. Now, point out one more thing here. We look at these two peaks. Right there, we also got a higher high on the RSI, a lower high on the price action. That is hidden bearish divergence. This could be just a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave, and then we get a 2 up. We'll see what happens. I will be keeping track of that. And the dollar is, I'm still bullish on the dollar. We were looking for this bounce here. We got it. Things are, there's no divergence really showing in here except for right here we have hidden bullish divergence right there. Higher highs in price action, lower highs in the RSI, getting a nice bounce. Ethereum, guys, this chart is an old chart. These targets have been here forever, and as of right now, our resistance, if you guys were been watching, I told you if we broke through the 2550 area, that would become resistance. Now, if we get back above that and get support, then we're going to look at that 3225 again. But if this remains resistance, like I think it will, 1850 is still my next target. I have targets as low as $500 to $700 also, depending on if we are truly in a bear market. Bitcoin goes down, it will drag this down with it. Litecoin, same thing. This is an old chart. Litecoin, same thing. We broke this 113. That is now our resistance. I do think if we are in a bear market, we'll see $25 or lower. XRP, same thing. Now XRP's, let's see, depending on how fast it we get up here, around 83 is the highest I'd see it going. Now if it does get above that, this is the bullish trend line up here. If it breaks this trend line, then you can get bullish. Otherwise, still looking bearish. I do think we could see a 20-cent XRP. And let's take a look at the Lux. Did it give us a signal yet? On the 4-hour, we did get our buyback here yesterday. Worked out pretty good. We talked about our resistance zones, and we are actually at one right now at about 37,000. And our cloud is sitting right at 37, about 38,000. Then we'll see what happens if we can get over that. I wouldn't be too sure about it. Usually when the candles turn blue off this, I notice it usually is before a reversal, just like we had over here. And this is in the 4 hours. So let's look at it on the daily. Also, you can see, well, let's look at the daily. I didn't really look at this too much because price hasn't moved too much. We talked about it yesterday on the daily. Daily resistance, according to this, is around 38.2, 38.3. Same thing we've been talking about. So make sure you're cautious there. We do They do have the oversold signals on the bottom. If you haven't checked this out, I have a link down below with a 20% discount. I will be changing this up, switching stuff around on it once, you know, we get some action. I have a few different charts I'm watching with it. So as soon as I get that all squared away, I'll let you guys know. But it's easily adjustable for how you trade. So if you're a day trader, if you're a swing trader, there's many different ways and adjustments on this Lux Algo indicator. So I'm liking it so far, but like I said, I'm not real familiar with it yet. I'm still playing with it. I've done some back testing, but I like to watch it live, actually. So we'll see what happens. We'll see if we get back into the green here like we did over here. We bounced down, came back up in. We stuck around in it for a while. We may do the same thing here, although I think we are above it at the moment. But yeah. Overall, guys, I'm still looking for at least this daily to play out. Even if we get a bounce, there's always going to be bounces in markets, and then people are going to always get super bullish. We had been expecting this ABC back here, but I thought the ABC would be a lot shorter, although it did take place. And that's, like I said, that lines up perfectly with the ABC over here in the Amazon chart. I mean, that's creepy how identical it is. Anyways, let's get into the chat. We'll chit chat for a little bit and see what you guys are thinking. If you look too, I threw them fibs on there. We're also, if we look at where we're getting rejected at the 0.236 fib right now. It's about 37,466 has been our resistance. But the EMAs on the 4 hour, we are above the 8, 13, and 21 here. Obviously, our 55 is going to line up pretty close with that trend line. So that's what I'm looking for right now. Actually, that needs to be moved up just a little bit. So yeah, keep an eye on this trend line here. And remember, I drew it off these 2 wicks. That's going to be pretty serious. We may see a major rejection there, depending on how long it takes to get, if we even get up there, 38.5, 38.6 range. My only skeptical with Amazon is that it's a company. Yeah, but what it's about, it's not about the company. It's about what was going on at the time, which was hype all over around the .com bubble. It looks like this may go down as a famous bubble popping pattern because back here in Amazon, it was at the .com bubble. That was when all this fell apart. If you look back at the .com bubble, Saylor was buying back in here, Michael Saylor, and he's acting the exact same, and his chart looks the exact same as it looked after the bubble going down. Many of you know, hopefully most of you know, but the biggest loser of this .com bubble was Michael Saylor. He lost, like, it was in the billions. He got, look it up, do your own research. Everybody treats him like some kind of crypto god. For one, he used to hate crypto. For two, he's acting exactly like he was back in this time with Amazon. So, and it doesn't matter that it's a company. It's based on emotion. It's a pattern. Back here, it was all .com scams. Over here, it's all shitcoin scams. Same type of thing. A lot of similarities going on. A lot. And the reason this bear market lasted so long, if you go over to here, this is that bubble right there that I have circled in the arrow. It took 10 years to break that high again. During this time, all the .com scams got washed out, washed away. All the crappy, non-existent scam companies all disappeared and went away in here. And then finally it could go up. And depending on how long it takes to wash out it will never wash out all the crypto scams, but most of them, that's when, you know, Bitcoin will have a chance to rise again. If it does, like I said, there's no guarantees in any markets, guys. I'm not trying to be negative there. I'm just trying to spit truth. If you, all depending on your financial situations of how much you should be putting into crypto. Don't put your life savings in there, guys. If you do, you're just gambling. All right, let's see what's going on. Michael Saylor, he shorted his own company. Yeah, we can take a look at it. Let me see if I can pull it up here. I don't know if I have it on here. I need to clean all these old charts off of here. That. Let's see. Nope, I don't see it. Shitcoin chart. Pull this chart up. So we'll pull up micro strategies on here, and we could look at how it handled the dot-com bubble. And he was paying for commercials, putting on the Super Bowl back then too, just so you guys know. Let's see. Yeah, take a look at that. This is on the monthly. But this was the dot-com bubble back here, MicroStrategy. We got people to buy into his company back then. And you can see, look at the same thing, all this hype back here. And then we had all this hype for crypto. He's seen opportunity with greedy people and went after it, and it worked. And he probably sold some of his stocks and is still selling here, if I had my guess. And if you look at this as an ABC correction, we talked about that quite a few times. Let's see where MicroStrategy may be headed. Maybe going to 1-to-1 extension, way back down to the same lows it was at, and after the dot-com bubble, super low. Let's see where that's at actually. Like $4, $3.50, something like that. Same type of stuff, guys. That's just I've been saying that since he got in. But use your own judgment. I'm just showing you what I believe and what I see. Guys, all I do on this channel is give you my opinions. I never tell you when to buy, when to sell, when to short, when to long. For one, because everybody has different financial situations. And everybody should be making up their own mind and their own opinion, and not blame anybody, even the people that believed it was going to 100,000 because everyone was talking about it. You're the one that bought. You shouldn't have bought. Need to make up your own mind. Nobody knows 100% where this market is going. Nobody, absolutely nobody. When Savvy Crypto Whale stream, I could ask him. I don't know if I don't think he's ever been on anyone's channel, honestly. Go to Crypto Whale's Twitter and see if you guys could talk him into it. He did give me a shout out. I do appreciate that. Savvy, look at the SPX 500 fractal in 1997. Yeah. The difference between that is this is even a fractal on the time. And I know a lot of people are starting to look at this and think it's going to bounce up, which I'm not saying it can't happen. It's a possibility. Let me look at the weekly here. A lot of people are talking about this, and I actually tweeted it to somebody because they had the lines drawn wrong about 3 days ago. You could see it on my Twitter. Let's put this on here. So if you line these up exact, and I'm sure even if it's going to continue down, it's going to get a bounce on that level. That's just how markets work. Pull this down. So there we go. We did, I mean, it was a hair off, pretty damn close. So actually, no, if I adjust this, it did hit. Let's see. So I know a lot of people are talking about this, and again, it could be possible. We'll see if that holds. But there's no reason the market wouldn't bounce there just because that trend line has a big part of it. But yeah, people are saying it could go up to, where's the top of that? 73,000. It's possible. We'll see. I think this is going to break, though, in my opinion. Honestly, we'll see what happens. But I'll pull up the S&P and look at it. See that? The hell was it? Yeah, you're talking about, oh, where are we at? 97. That's pretty damn cherry picking. Let's look at it on the weekly. So 97, you're talking about this here. I mean, that's cherry picking in my opinion, especially if you look at it on the weekly, it looks nothing like it. Probably put it in the daily and try to make it, but my point is the Amazon chart and the Bitcoin chart are both done on the weekly, and it's the same kind of atmosphere, same type of stuff going on with the same type of scams going on. And the same person bought at the same time on that. So that's all I'm saying. Do your own research, guys. Where are we at? Go to 97 on the daily. Right here. This is what you're talking about. Right? But you're looking at it on a daily chart. So, like I said, that's cherry picking. Bear market recession, biggest collapse, worse than 2008. I've been saying it forever. I still think that we are going to see the biggest money grab in history is what we're witnessing. Don't be on the wrong side of it. That's my belief. Setting a buy at 28,750 sound good if that's what you want to do. Like I said, I don't tell people when to buy, sell, short or long. Oh, that's the other thing I almost forgot, guys. This target. So let's look at this real quick. Like I said, this wedge is what I'm looking at now, right? Let me get this out of your way so it's not as confusing. So looking at this wedge, right here is your measured move. We broke that wedge. Again, if it isn't a wedge with this being the bottom. But if that's the case, and this is correct, that gives us a target of around 22.5, which comes pretty damn close to our 23.5 target from the daily, from a whole different perspective, with a rising broadening wedge here and then a breaking out of a falling wedge here. But let's see, if it was to go bullish, that could get back up to around $60,000, which would be this old support and resistance possibility. So I will go ahead and look at that for you. If we break this 42.5 area, we could start maybe looking at that. Actually 43,000 because of the Amazon chart. That's what I'm looking at. But yeah, this one comes out to about 23.3, and this one comes out to about 22.5. So in my opinion, we still go down to those levels. All right, looks like we're bouncing down to test the RS or the EMAs here. Let's see if we get a bounce or not. This does look rounding right now. RSI. Thanks, Toby. I appreciate it. Crypto Twitter, YouTube influencers calling for alt season. Well, they think every time Bitcoin has to look the same, altcoins have to do the same. I hope people are starting to learn that it's not the same all the time. And when they say all the time, it was twice. It was twice. That's it. They act like it happened 57,000 times. Could it be an aggressive 5 waves down? Yeah, I've talked about that. That was my old count. I think it's still on here. But this ended up looking a whole lot more like Amazon, and its wave 1, 2, 3. I showed you guys in yesterday's video. You can go back. Well, I'll throw it on there real quick. So, right here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. make that white so you guys can see it better. I think you'll be able to see it better. But yeah, that would be what that looked like. So, could this look something like that? Say we go down, you know, could this have been the bottom of there? Well, a 3 goes way down here. And bottom out in 2023 sometime. Well below 10,000, possibly below 5,000. That's a possibility. It is a definite possibility. Wouldn't it be nice to have a crystal ball and know for sure? That's the beauty of markets. Nobody knows. I'm just showing you ideas that I'm getting from what I find. You do with it whatever you wish. Hate on it, love it, I don't care. Savvy, appreciate your analysis. Phenomenal. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. Falling wedge could be ending diagonal. Yeah, it could be for the shorter wave. You know, maybe this was going to be a big A, B, C. I don't know. But get over to that chart, bro. I mean, it could be if this is still like this, you know, there could be an ending fifth wave if that was the bottom there and that's going to come up here and break out. I mean, it's a possibility. I don't believe that's what it is. It doesn't really match up to none of this. Yeah, it doesn't really match up to be any fifth wave ending diagonal unless you're talking about the little one, like on the 4 hour here. Like this was an ending fifth wave diagonal. That is a possibility. Sorry if I'm making you guys dizzy moving charts all over. If miners stop mining, the supply stopped and BTC goes up. What? Oh. Committee may be the catalyst equals U.S. dragged into Russia, Ukraine. BCB, same one told, blah, blah, blah. I'll shoot for 25K, then you've become such a bear lately. Fat boy pup. I am just showing you what I see in the charts. Google user, thank you for the super chat. I appreciate that. Good looking out. A lot of influencers are talking about the 20K is the bottom. Yeah, a lot of influencers were talking about, here, let me show you what a lot of them. They were talking about jumping from here. 62 was the bottom, then 55 was the bottom, and then 53 was the bottom, and then no way it would go below 50, and then it went below 50, and then 45 was the bottom, and then 30 was the bottom. So same old, same old, same. I thought YouTube was drunk. What miners were due at 5K BTC? I don't know, man. Like I said, I'm not saying it has to go there. I'm showing you the possibilities that it could go there. Samaka Pork Chop says, my prediction is 18K. All right. Crypto will bounce tomorrow. Maybe we'll get a nice bull trap tomorrow. Maybe not. Maybe it'll just continue dropping. I do expect it some type of bull trap soon. They need to get liquidity in if it is a bear market. If you were around in 2017, hopefully most of you were, especially most of you that think you understand the market. But you know, each one of these was a huge bull trap. They're going to a new all-time high, and then it dropped. And then, oh, we got to bounce out to 55. We're doing good. We're going back to new all-time high. And then, nope, huge drop. And then we go up again, and then everybody's super bullish again, and then we drop. And everybody gets bullish on every little pump. And then this was just taking everybody's money, man. Everybody's money the whole time. And then when the bottom fell out at 6,000 way back here, this took February to almost a year of bouncing in between 6 and, well, the first bounce was 11, second bounce was 9, Third bounce was 85. These are to get people to buy in and get liquidity so they can sell high. And then when they run out of buyers, boom, bottom fell. Did it again over here. Same thing. So, I expect some bull traps. Why wouldn't they? At least if BTC goes to 5K, let's look at something real quick. Just out of curiosity, just for shits and giggles. So this bounce here was a huge relief rally after the bear market of the .com bubble. Let's see what that bounced up. So for shits and giggles, that bounced. Oh, that's the wrong damn. What would this have been? So if we go from the bottom where it bottomed out here in its bear market up to that bounce, huge dead cat bounce, that was 1100%. So let's see what that would be if it happened over here. If that would even make sense. So we went down to, let's say, that 38,000 somewhere in there. I think that's the same percentage, about 95% drop. That would get it all the way back up to around 48,000. Possible? Anything's possible. Nothing's guaranteed. Thanks, pork chop. At least if BTC goes, we can buy it. Hold on, I read that one. Hey, Savvy, has the head and shoulders been confirmed on the daily? Great content, man. I never really was looking at the head and shoulders. This has been my daily chart right here. Oh, right here has been my daily chart forever. I was never looking at the head and shoulders. This little thing, I don't think is no shoulder. Yeah, I don't think that was a head and shoulders. I still have always and still do look at this as a rising broadening wedge. We started talking about that. Actually, I drew it way back in here after this bottom, I believe, back in September. But yeah. Thanks again for humoring my spy, Fractal Savvy. Thanks for all the quality content. Right on, man. And I don't mean to knock it. I mean, I just don't. You can find that anywhere in that spy chart. So I wasn't knocking you, man. I was just saying everybody like nitpicks and tries to find patterns. But like I said, this whole thing right here, this whole pattern that I'm watching has reasoning behind it. Because this was a huge bubble of a bunch of garbage. Just like we're in now. And the same player, Michael Saylor, is playing in it. Helmy said head and shoulders on the weekly. I don't really see it, man. $10K area the 22nd of February. Whew, that's pretty quick. Not saying it can't happen, but damn, that'd be pretty spooky. I think if it went that far that quick, it may go a lot farther than that. That would panic a lot of people. Is there any alts that you don't consider a scam? You know, in all honesty, man, I don't believe in any of the altcoins. Some of them may make it, but in all reality, people are, like I said, man, I'm not gonna go too deep into it, but there's things that people don't know about a lot of these coins. I'll just say that. I'm gonna leave it there. Certain things I can't say from a long time ago. I got pretty serious emails that I don't want to talk about. You ignore the triple top in Amazon. I do not, Ammo, and that is great that you brought that up because I did talk about this in a few videos and a lot of people apparently missed it. Let's dig in a little bit right here. I am going to put that to rest, right? Obviously, everything doesn't play out to a T candle for candle, right? So, We look at this. We had our little hump here, our little hump here, this peak, and this peak. Now, if we look right here, look at that peak where this peak was right here, right? And then we had a lower high on the RSI, a higher high on the price action. And I'm going to draw that in there so you know that's from there to there. That is the same as here to here. Now, if you look at this high, and then you look at the next high. The same thing right here. Same thing, bud. Right there. It just wasn't as high. Same thing, though. We made bearish divergence right here. Right here to here, and here to here. And then we had our drop, and then we had our ABCs. So, yeah, it was all there. It doesn't have to be exact. This was pretty hyped up right here. Crypto didn't get quite that hyped up. So, yeah, thanks for mentioning that. I appreciate it because I keep meaning to talk about that. I think I talked about it once or twice. I think I've talked about it in members' videos, actually, and not actually on the stream. So, back. If that makes sense to you. But yeah, it did have 3 peaks. This one was just way down here. Spread it out a little. Look at it. And again, this is a weekly chart. Both of them are weekly charts. You believe this is a bubble popping pattern. So thanks, Ammo, again, Ammo X, for mentioning that. And I'm not saying you can't make money off altcoins. You can make money off altcoins. I just don't really believe any of them are. And I talked about this, I think yesterday. I flew to California a few years back. It was right before all the stuff started in March 2020. I think it was in the beginning of 2020, within the first couple months. I was on a plane and I was next to a software like person from Microsoft, and I asked them about Bitcoin because I was still pretty excited about Bitcoin. And she kind of laughed and giggled, and she's high up in Microsoft. She like had a bunch of accounts handling clouds. She helped work on the clouds for them. And she said she liked blockchain, but Bitcoin, not so much. And especially the altcoins. And I asked if they would ever get into, or she said, but blockchain is good. So I asked if Microsoft might get into blockchain. Microsoft has been into blockchain. They've been building blockchains for their customers. And one of them is, I think it was General Electric, she said, and I can't remember the other ones. But they've been building blockchains. They don't need these shitcoins. They know how to make blockchains, copy and paste, and they have probably the best tech people around. So that's one of the things that made me really think that there's no reason these altcoins even need to be around, because they're already building blockchains being used by companies and stuff like that. So don't forget, there's a free Discord group in the description below the video. You guys can go check it out. It's totally free. I haven't been getting in there a whole lot lately. I will be starting to get in there more often. But I have been pretty active on Twitter, so you can give me a follow on Twitter at CryptoSavvy1. There's a lot of good people in the Discord. They do a lot of trading. You can learn a lot from them. A lot of good people in there. Definitely check it out. Like I said, it is totally free. Check out the links below. Any links you see below my video are things I actually like, trust, and believe in. That's why you don't see a bunch of Bybit and Femex and all those links down there, because I'm not just doing it to make a buck and screw people. That's the links down below are all good links. Small wave 2 for the markets, big wave 3 coming to destroy crypto. Could be, man. Crypto is fast though. One day could equal 1 week in stock market. Yeah, you're right in a way. But like I said, these are both weekly charts, and they are both the same pattern. The same pattern. They were both euphoria stages in the market. And I know a lot of people said, We didn't get the blow off top. Everybody wasn't excited. If you guys followed me, you know that I was calling the top back here the first top, and I still believe that was the top. This was just a overextended, and I explained that before too, as a irregular correction. It happens. It was just over exuberant and just way too much euphoria, and people were screaming up here. I remember all of the Moon Boys right here. They were all saying like 73,000 in a week or two. And back up here, they were calling for 100,000, 300,000. If that isn't euphoria, I don't know what is. Got two parts of it. That equals one, if you want to look at it that way. But it don't have to have a blow off top. There's nothing in anything that says it has to have a blow off top. Markets aren't going to do the exact same thing over and over. Then everybody would make a ton of money if it just kept doing the same thing. That's why I said, everybody says Bitcoin has to keep going up in the long run. It's going to keep going up forever. There's no guarantees, guys. It is still, prove me wrong, it's still a speculative asset. It is still a speculative asset. Forex funds my crypto wallet, period. A lot of good people in Discord. Questionable, Jeffrey said. Microsoft have been building huge data centers over Ireland, etc. Possibly blockchain projects. I do know they build blockchain for their for some of their customers. They've built blockchains for them. So yeah, I do know that. But you don't hear anybody talking about that. Why? Probably because it would make projects look bad. I don't know. Maybe. Except BTC and crypto isn't even a fraction of the Amazon.com bubble. What do you mean there? I don't understand what you're saying there, bud. Not enough people need crypto right now. There's no real floor demand. What TA could indicate a bottom? Flash crash to sub 20K, then what 5 waves up? If this is a big ABC correction. If you guys remember, I was thinking this was going to be something like this, you know, and break this low down here and then continue up from there. But I'm not super confident in that. And it's possibility, like I said, it just breaks this low, gets down to this 23,000 range, and that be the bottom. That is a possibility. Definitely a possibility. And even if it isn't the bottom, I definitely think we get a bounce there if we get down to those levels. That may be where a big bull trap begins. Where do you think BTC will be in 10 years' time? It all depends on what happens here this year. It really does. Like I said, if it was to play out like Amazon did, it could be 10 years before it breaks that 69,000. If it washes out all the cryptos, like I believe 100% that it needs to wash out all the scams, man. There's too many scams and too many people getting sucked into them and losing all their money, man. Rusty said he peed a little bit. Let's see. ATUG, S&P 2002 and 2009 crash created double bubble. Do you think it will create similar double bottom at 30 and 26? I mean, it's a possibility. It's a possibility. Savvy 55 EMA has held for years. Could it not hold? Yeah, it could definitely not hold. That's what I said. If everybody expects the market to always repeat and do the same stuff, is usually when it ends up not repeating and doing the same stuff. Let's take a look at Amazon. Let me throw some EMAs on this. Let's zoom in here around this time. Look at it on the daily. Oh, where's the bubble? Over here. Right. I must have done something here on the daily that I totally forgot. Oh, that's just the line that shows how long it took to break. You see, it almost got back up to the all-time high about 7 years later. Then it came back down one more dip before going up. If this was to play out, that'd be awesome, and you knew where it was going to go. But like I said, nobody ever knows. I guess I can't really see any similarity. But what I do want to do, I want to throw this on the log real quick. Daily. This is the log chart, right? Looking at this on the log chart. Yeah, looking at this on the log chart could have looked a lot like Bitcoin too if you threw some arcs on there. Throw some arcs. Just for shits and I like shits. Maybe. Possibility. Put this back on the weekly. Oh shit, what did I have that on? Was it daily? What did I have that on? I even remember. 3 days? Weekly. Oh, I got it on log, that's why. Go to 3. Could you imagine if Bitcoin does that, how high Bitcoin would be? Let's do a measured move of that real quick. Or not a measured move. Let's do a quick. Where's it at? So you want to hear super bullish if Bitcoin does pan out and work like that? Was a. And this was how long? 20 years later at about 2,800% from the top. Take a look. And no, I'm not calling this, but for fun, we're going to look at it. Let's go to the. So if we went, what I say, 2,800% from the top, what would that get it to? Ridiculous amount. 2,800% from go to 69,000. Be about almost $2 billion of Bitcoin. So if you're a big time believer in you're a big time believer in crypto, could see a $2 billion Bitcoin in 2 years. I mean, 2 years. Don't quote me on that. That'd probably be all over saying I was calling that. $2 billion in 20 years if it was to play out like the Amazon chart. What is this? There we go. back over 4 hour. We're getting a bounce off the EMAs. Yep. Sure, but not if they kill it and it goes dominant for 10 years. Lose liquidity. Well, a lot of .com stuff lost liquidity too. And came back. How does OTC trades get priced in charts? On what charts? 55 EMA around Savvy's target, 22 to 23K. I think if it hits, then FUD will take it down to test the 200 weekly at 20K. Yeah, see, you got to remember when everybody agrees, when most people agree on something, that's not usually how it plays out. And people think that 20K has got to hold. And I showed you guys this chart right here, that if you look at it in an Elliott wave, the only thing it can't do is go below 1300. But people think you can't break 20 because that was the last high, and Bitcoin never breaks its prior high. Guys, Bitcoin hasn't been around that long. This could be one big cycle, not four, or not 3-4 year cycles. This could be just one big cycle, and now it's going into a longer term bear market. I've been trying to explain that. That's how I see it possibly playing out. $40 to $60K hump 2026, maybe. Lots of bread, 5 million. Massive amount of alts, 90+% of the asset owned by 1% of the wallets. Yeah, man, they're pump and dumps. Those guys printed money out of thin air, basically. And they can dump on you at any time. That's what most some projects do, guys. Vulture said BTC was born in a bull market. Looks like one cycle. Yeah. And I've stated that a lot of times, that the whole time since Bitcoin's creation, the stock market has been in a bull market. And it's still corrected 95 or 85 to 95% a few times. So anything financial is never guaranteed. Nothing. That is a fact, pork chop. Lived through long-term bear stock markets, lasting for many years. Right. If BTC can be manipulated, why would one trust the technical analysis? Because everything's manipulated. If you don't think the regular markets are manipulated, technical analysis are part of the manipulation, if you want to call it manipulation, right? That's what traders, even investors, use. Analysis. Savvy, have you tried giving up the cigarettes? Yeah, I quit on New Year's. It was my New Year's resolution. No more smokes for me, man. It's over. OVA. I vape though right now, but I will be quitting that soon too. Sad one, huh? I bought BTC at 9,700 at the beginning of this run after 19. Well, you have a decision to make. Do you think it's going to continue up and not go below? Then hold it. If you think there's a possibility, this is something else I want to point out, and it's not to scare you, but it's to show you how bear markets often work. Okay. You know what? We're going to look at it in the daily. So back here, just bear with me. No pun intended. And think about this, right? So people are saying, I missed the top now. I missed the top. Wish I would have sold at 69,000. Okay. Same thing up here, 20,000. And then they could have sold up here at 17, 18. But by the time you get up here after this pump and then this drop and then this pump, could have sold at 17. Nope, it was going to go higher. So they held. And then, oh man, I should have sold at 17. Then, oh man, Should have sold at 17. And then up here, when it got back to 12, it goes all the way down to 9 and then back to 12. Could have sold at 12, but no, it went further. And people just kept thinking it was going to go back up. And then they got huge relief here. Whoo, glad I didn't sell. It's back up to 12,000 after hitting 58,000. It's definitely going to new all-time highs. Bear market's over. And then boom, back down to 6,000. And then came back up. Nobody sold here either. It just went back down. Came back up. Could have sold there. Nope, went back down. And then this capitulation. Then everybody sold down here and lost their ass. So just be aware how bear markets work. And most of the news, most of the stuff you hear is not being put out to help you. Put it that way. These celebrities and stuff, they ain't telling you what to do because they want you to win. They're telling you what to do so you do something that makes them richer. Yay, no more stinkies. Good job, Savvy. They're taking it off for the reset. We'll be happy. That could have sold mentality builds up and cracks. Once the price gets low enough, the price drops rapidly after that. Yeah, that's when everybody just capitulate. Now that waiting on that 100K, you missed the top twice. You had 2 chances to get out here. Gonna wait till it goes a little higher to sell. Yeah, that's like the famous saying in bear markets. As soon as it gets a little higher, I'm gonna sell, and then it starts going up, and then you get bullish again, and you don't think it's gonna go down. And then it drops even lower than the low you were waiting for before to bounce. So just be careful, guys. Be careful. Again, I appreciate each and every one of you guys. Don't forget, take a second out, smash that thumbs up. I appreciate it. And subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Make sure you tick the notification bell to get notified when I post new videos so you don't miss out on stuff. And guys, try to watch the videos when they come out and not 3 days later after the fact, right? Take it easy, guys. Have a good one. I do appreciate you guys for stopping in. Comment on the video if you're watching this after the live. Take it easy.